Well, and we're going to go live or kind of a recorded live in 3, 2, 1. This is Kathleen Gage. And today I want to give you some money saving tips for your business. It's amazing how many people say, I want to make more in my business. I want to make more in my business, but they never look at where they could cut costs. And these are real costs. These are actually they're little bleeds in your business. So let me start with a couple of things that I was thinking about, because recently I went through and did a major sweep of everything in my business to make sure there weren't bleeds in my business, little holes in my business, or big holes in my business. One is review all the subscriptions you have. That goes for magazine subscriptions, that goes for digital subscriptions, that goes for virtually anything that you are paying money into. Check those subscriptions, and even those that you're not, check and make sure that you've got a strong password. Check and make sure your financials aren't in there, but review your subscriptions, and if you're not using them, cancel them. And oftentimes it's the little ones that all add up. Let's say it's $5 here, $10 there, $7 here. At the end of the month, it can add up. Also, what you want to do is look at the services that you use and can you downgrade? What I mean by that is in email service providers, for example, with some, if you go over a certain amount, your subscription price goes up. If you're under that amount, and let's say at one point you were over, but you went under because you did a clean sweep of your database, you may be able to save as much as 50%. So I would encourage you to check all of your service providers and see if you might be able to downgrade, because that could save you a substantial amount. And it's time consuming, but I can assure you it's worth it. Another thing that you might want to do is negotiate interest rates. Let's say that you have a credit card and you have a balance on that credit card, which the best thing to do is to pay down the balance. But with everything that's been going on with the economy, that's not always easy. So what you can do is you can call from time to time, once a year, you can call your bank and you can say, I'd like to negotiate interest rates, and they may or may not do it. Well, there's a lot of other companies that would be happy to have your business. Now, I know it does impact your credit rating, but you have to look at the long-term view. Another thing that you want to keep a very close eye on is reviewing all your financial accounts, which includes your credit cards, your bank accounts, your PayPal, your Amazon, all of that. Check all those accounts on a regular basis. And by regular basis, I'm not talking every 6 months. I'm talking with some of them as much as daily. So it really is a matter of protecting yourself, because another thing that you really want to look at is you want to look at having really strong passwords. Now, you may think your password is strong, and yet, let me show you. This is very interesting. This is how long it takes a hacker to brute force your password in 2022. If you've got 4 characters with numbers only, instantly, lowercase, just look across here. It doesn't matter what the combination is. 4 is not enough. If you go down and you look at 15 characters with numbers only, 32 minutes. If you've got numbers and lowercase letters, 100 years. This is 3 million years. Now, let's take a look at if you've got 18 characters of numbers only, it would take 3 weeks. Lowercase letters, 2 million years. So, I mean, it may seem like it's an inconvenience, but I was talking to somebody who does digital marketing, and they do a lot of business in their business. And we were talking about, people that are hacking into systems, and it's getting worse than it ever has been. And actually every single day, now this is day, this is not year, every single day between 500,000 and 1 million new viruses are created to hack into systems. 500,000 to 1 million every single day. That's over 300 million a year. And so nowadays, it's not a matter of if it happens, it's a matter of when, unless you really protect yourself. So I'm talking with a friend of mine who has a digital products company and runs a lot of business through a lot of sales through their business. Her password is 50 characters long. And she goes, it's work. but it's worth it because it would take millions of years for somebody to hack her system. And another thing you want to do is from time to time, change your passwords, keep them very secure, and don't assume that it's not going to happen to you. I can assure you that more and more every day, it's amazing how prevalent this is. But most of all, with your subscriptions, check those out, negotiate, cancel if you need to, and make sure that it's actually canceled. If you're doing an auto pay on PayPal, for example, go into your PayPal account, cancel it there, and then contact the company and say, I want to cancel the account. Those extra steps will save you money, and that's like giving yourself a raise. I recently did this, and I have to say, I probably gave myself a raise without even realizing it, just on services I no longer need. And it's not that, I was just letting them randomly happen. There were a few, the $5 and $10 ones, but the bigger ones, I've probably just given myself about a $4,000 a year raise. Substantial. And that was from looking at services I use. Could I downgrade because I'm not using the same level that I was using before? Or was there a service provider that I no longer needed their services? By the way, this is Kathleen Gage, and I encourage you, really keep an eye on what's going on. More than ever, we have to be diligent about what's going on. We cannot assume that everything is just going to go along hunky-dory in the back end, because you never know what's going on in the back end. This is Kathleen Gage wishing you a great day, and we are off the air.